We continue talking about ideas from the three-body problem, and the one that I was asked about is the Sophon particles. How could something like that really exist? You know, how did the trisolar people know to send that to us and stop us from being able to make scientific advances? And the answer to that is, in principle, something like that could exist to some extent. One such particle probably wouldn't do the job. You need to be sending stuff in to be messing around with the interaction region in a particle collider to make sure that no good data came out at all. It'd probably be easier just to take all the smart scientists and kill them or scramble their brains or something like that. However, it's interesting to think about. And the reason that they're doing that is because the assumption of the author, and as mentioned, but also the assumption of many scientists, is that as we probe particle physics on smaller and smaller scale, we'll eventually begin to understand extra dimensions and extra forces and extra fields like that. And those are the kinds of things that you might need to do in order to be able to build ships that travel faster than the chemical rockets and stuff we have, or to understand the basic nature of space and time, and to understand how many dimensions there really are and what's going on, and how you can put things together. Now, quantum mechanics makes it extremely difficult to do stuff on the super microscopic scale, and that can be very disruptive. And if you had ability to disrupt things on a microscopic scale, you might be able to inject a lot of extra noise in the data from the quantum mechanical fluctuations. And so that might be a way that things work. The way that Liu describes things, they're too perfect. They're too shiny and too new, and they do too well. But the fact is, it's a very clever idea, and also very clear that you don't want people advancing their science and their technology in order to be able to fight you. That's the thing, the very tool you're going to use to be fighting with them and to conquer them. And so the trisolar people, it's important for them to freeze human development and then actually retard human development so that the humans aren't able to put up a big fight. It's a good plot device. It's not clear that such a thing could exist in reality, but still, it's very interesting. So far, the United States and Europe, especially at the Central European Research Nuclear, CERN, have taken the leading effort in studying particle physics and the development of what's going on. Now China is joining in that. China now has a low energy accelerator and also a spallation news source. It's learning how to develop the technology for the next generation. And there were many of us that were hoping that there was going to be a big circuit collider approved in China, and that will be the next generation. Now the Japanese were trying to get people to help around the world to help support them building a big collider. And so far, people haven't quite gone to world scope. They have stayed into regional scope, Europe or the United States or Japan. But eventually, one would hope there would be cooperation between the various regions, and there will be a new generation particle accelerator done, and that would allow us to try and look deeper into the structure of space-time and deeper into the nature of what kind of forces there are in our universe. So we'll see. It's the reason that this is important is because this probably where the frontier is. But historically, what we've seen as we've gone to higher energies, we've learned a deeper understanding of the world and a deeper understanding of what the nature of space and time is. The other place where we've made progress is by studying the universe as a whole in cosmology, because it turns out the universe on the very large scale and the universe on the very small scale are intimately related. It's like a snake swallowing its tail. Somehow the mouth of the universe and the tail of the particles are actually very highly connected.